Welcome to another edition of Through the Fire and the SBN Small Business Network podcast. I am your host, Ryan Wickline. And today we're going to do a follow-up since I just had the last episode I just published was with my old college professor, Phil Gunder. So this week I want to do a follow-up because as most you could see, me and him are the same age. And most people are probably like, man, what? You went back to college that late? Well, yeah, I did. So I wanted to give you a follow-up, and this whole thing is going to be talked about facing the giants in your life, okay? Because I am a big proponent on facing your weaknesses now, and that used to never be the case. So a little backstory is, graduating high school, I had a full academic scholarship to The Ohio State University. The whole plan was I was studying international business and pre-law. I wanted to be a corporate lawyer, maybe go work in sports someday, maybe a sports agent, or maybe even working just the organization type of it, maybe even work towards being a general manager in baseball or something like that. Just love sports. So, plus I wanted to just make money. So I thought law would be the way to go. Well, some bad habits that I had got in the way of my success early on. And as I was fixing a little bit of that, my grandma was diagnosed with liver cancer. Colon cancer. Probably like a couple quarters in to my freshman year. And that kind of derailed everything. So having her diagnosed with cancer, it became less about me going to class, less about me chasing my dreams, and more about me avoiding the pain in my life. So I turned to alcohol and drugs, like a lot of the kids that age. And that kind of just derailed my success. So I had a lot of friends, and I'd go hang out with a lot of different people, but I was always masking my pain. And that's all I was doing, was just trying to mask that pain I was feeling, good around people so I could mask that pain because I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to feel that pain and the thoughts I had running through my head. So long story short is, I pretty much, after she died, not even a year into everything, I became less about chasing my dreams and goals and more about partying. I still almost got my degree, was less than a year away from graduating with my degree in international business before I dropped out. So I had that stigma with me of being a college dropout for so long. I mean, and it hurt. I felt like a complete failure as I watched some of my friends and other people I knew graduate with a degree, because I was just thinking and they would tell you, he's way smarter than me. He's way smarter than I am, and he didn't do it. It's like, so I carried that around a lot, of, hey, I couldn't get the job done. I let my feelings and emotions dictate everything, and I felt like a failure. Well, fast forward about 15 years later, the opportunity came for me to start a wrestling club, an academy, training kids. Well, I didn't know the first thing about running a business, and I was talking with people and what my dreams and goals would be. Well, if I'm going to run something, I want to make sure it's successful, and I want it to be sustainable. So I need to learn how to build it up, how to brand it, everything like that. So I knew I had to go back to school. Well, there's also an opportunity. Do you want to become a head coach one day? Well, you need to get a college degree for that. So me being self-aware of what everything takes, that thing that we talked about before a couple episodes ago, self-awareness, that came into play a lot. So me being self-aware of my weaknesses and knowing what I need to do, I knew I needed to go back to school to get my degree, and I need to go face that giant. Well, so I went to go look back at Ohio State, seeing, can I slide back in there and maybe finish up? Well, here was the first door being shut in my face was, hey, those credits don't count anymore. It was been so long ago. They can't transfer or you can't use them. So I knew I was going to start all the way back from ground zero, start from scratch. I'm like, okay, I know I can do better anyways because I'm not in that place anymore. And it's what I learned through that process. It's going to take me better, make me better. Well, so I just had to decide, do I want to go to Ohio State or do I want to go someplace else now since my credits aren't going to transfer and I can't just slide in there. So I started looking around at different places and I stumbled upon University of Northwestern Ohio, which is down the road from where I live. And the one thing I liked about it, they offered sports management marketing. I love sports. I love talking about sports. I love like everything and learn the business side of sports. Fascinating to me, you know. It's always something I like to do, was talk about sports and like learn more about it, especially the business side of it. And there's also a chance to go into education, become a teacher. But the business degree would offer me a chance to maybe become an athletic director or slide in there if I wanted to ever do anything with the administration and schools and everything. Plus, being a teacher, any of them teachers out there, I have nothing but mad respect for all of you. You guys can do something that I couldn't do, like dealing with stuff like that on a regular basis, especially with the school systems. So much love for you on all that you do. But anyways, when I decided to go back, I chose UNOH. Now, first quarter went well. Made the dean's list. They had two different lists. The dean's list, which was 3.75 to a 3.5, 3.5 GPA to 3.75 GPA, somewhere around there. Well, then they had the president's list, which was all like pretty much a 4.0 GPA, which was all pretty much straight A's across the board. And that first quarter did great, you know. Was traditional student again, was like, man, I got this. Dean's list, nothing, you know, it was nothing. The school part was easy for me. Well, I had to work 2 jobs too on that process too. So then run the wrestling club, everything. So my time was busy. And I mean, I was focused and going to attack this. And like I like to tell everybody, God has a sense of humor. He knows your weaknesses and he's going to let you be exploited and make you face stuff. And that's where I'm getting this title, Facing Your Giants. So after the first quarter, that we had a weekend break before summer classes started back up. Me and my girlfriend of 6 years broke up. I was devastated, heartbroken, hurt. Like, I was bad. That first week back in class, I found out my best friend had stage 4 brain cancer, was given less than 6 months to live. I mean, I didn't know what to say. I mean, I was like, oh my God, you know, like, wow, you know, like the guy who's always been there for me was there for me all the time when I needed somebody to talk to, somebody who hold me accountable and make me become a better person, you know. So that one was pretty devastating. So I made it through that week and I ended up going home and I relapsed. I went and drank, went and used drugs, and that's totally another story in itself that we're not going to dive even down into, but I relapsed. That relapse led me to drop my classes that quarter. So I was in a bad spot. Fast forward to fall quarter approaching. I was like, man, am I going to go back or am I going to go back to work? Am I going to give up? So I hear that first breaking point, that first turning point, first fork in the road where I could easily go one way or go the other. It was up to me. The choice was in my hands. Am I going to go and try to pursue this dream with all the stuff I have going on in my life that has me broken? Or am I going to go veer off and take what's comfortable, the area that's, I know, the road that I know I shouldn't go down, but it's the easy road, the road that I took before, where I'm going to quit. I chose, hey, I'm going to go try to attack this. I can do this. I was doing great. Man, I was doing amazing. Like, thought I was doing good. I had it. I was like, I can make it through this, man. I mean, I was an emotional roller coaster, but I thought I had it. I mean, I'd go to class, do homework, go to a job, or go to practice. I was didn't know if I was coming or going. My days were hectic. Well, as you can see, I wasn't there mentally or emotionally. I mean, I was so up and down like a roller coaster that I couldn't focus as we were coming down the home stretch. We got to like week 10 to 13, 11 to 13, somewhere around there, when all the projects and everything were getting ready to be due, all the presentations, everything. And I folded. I folded. I broke. I mentally broke and did not want to get out of bed. That's how bad I was doing, like emotionally and mentally. Like I couldn't handle everything going on. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I broke mentally down. So I had that choice right there. Should I keep going or should I worry about getting my head right first? And I took the easy way out and I quit. I took a withdrawal fail F in all them classes. Boom, dropped my GPA from a 3.75 down to like a 1.15, 1.7, somewhere around there. It was low. I felt bad. I was after I did it, I was so mad at myself too, because I'm like, man, why did I quit? Why did I quit? I was almost there at that finish line. Why couldn't I find a way just to push through? But honestly, I couldn't push through. I was a mental and emotional wreck that, like, I felt like my life was a roller coaster. I'd go places and I'd come home and I'd be in tears crying. Like, it was that bad. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. It was something I was never taught as a kid, of how to deal with my emotions. I was taught to bottle everything up. Well, as most of you know, if the more you bottle things up, eventually you're going to explode and have to let it all out. Well, that was me growing up, and ticking time bomb at times. So, like, getting back to the story, it was bad. Like, I felt so bad for quitting, but I hit that fork in the road number 2. Like, hey, should I give up again? Here's this chance. Like, everybody would understand if I quit right now. Everybody would understand if I quit. Like, they understand what I'm going through. They would understand if I quit. There was something inside me that wouldn't allow me to quit, though. There was just that innate desire that said, Ryan, you can do this. Push through. And I remember asking God, sitting there asking, why do you make this tougher on me than other people? Why why does everything always have to be tougher on me? Why do I have to fight for every inch that I get? And I watch some of these other people that just, they don't really have any friction or anything in their life. And the response I got back was kind of profounding. I think we've all been there where we're asked, why does this situation have to be tougher on me? Like, yeah, I asked it. And the answer I got was like, just like enlightening. He said, Ryan, if I don't make it tougher on you, you will try to just get by on talent alone. And I was like, you got me. You got me. Because, yes, if it isn't hard, I even know where I'm talented at, and I will just try to skate by on talent alone. And that is the truth. Like, you got me. And he also told me, the reason you're failing isn't for any other reason than you're not giving me 100%. And I had to do a little self-examination in some areas. of my life. And I realized, hey, I probably wasn't giving 100%. I thought I was giving 100%, but I wasn't. He's like, you told me if you had this opportunity again, you would give me 100%. You'd give me 120. You give me everything, but you're not. You're only operating about 75%. And that was the truth. I was probably only operating at about 65, 70% because I was procrastinating a little bit here and there. I was putting off doing things that I should have been doing that would have made life a lot easier on me. So from that moment, I decided I was going to go through it again. I was going to try one more time. I was going to give it one more try to try to make this dream a reality because, man, I was pretty broken. So with that GPA being so low, they made me go get a student success coach. The best thing about it was when I went in that office, the guy in there was my old elementary school gym teacher. And I walked in there talking with him. He's like, Ryan, what are you doing in here? Like he was looking at my grades. He's like, I don't ever see people with these types of grades in here. Because even when I dropped those classes, they were all A's. Everything was A's. It was like, and you still dropped. It's like, I don't see that. Like people that come in here are doing very bad academically. So we had to go talk. And we decided we'd meet up every couple weeks. And we didn't talk about school. We talked about life. I mean, we talked about coaching philosophies, just life in general. He knew that I just need to get my emotions out. And that helped me out so much. And then Phil Gunder, shout out to him. I used to go meet with him too. Go talk with him about stuff, about coaching, things like that, and about life. More about life and just needing somebody to talk to and talk about my emotions and what I was going through and what I was dealing with my friend and trying to get that out there and just not keeping everything bottled up. And that just helped me out immensely. And like he said, his job is to help his main focus is usually to help the people that that are on the fringe. Like he knew that if I had the grades and stuff to get through everything, but his main focus was helping the people on the fringe. So I started helping some of them people too, in different areas. So when I went back, and this was the hard thing, I'd been watching a lot of stuff on mindset and everything and about what I need to do. And the one thing that came across was if you keep failing, do the complete opposite of what you're doing. So I had to be, self-examine everything that I was doing. And a lot of it was, hey, I'm not a traditional student. I'm in my 30s. I'm running a wrestling club, working 2 jobs. Like I am busy. So what I needed to do was, hey, I need to go do online classes. Then I don't have to spend all that time in the classroom or driving different places. And that can be spent at home doing the work. And that made everything so much easier for me. The crazy thing was I wasn't that like tech savvy, wasn't very great with the computer or any of that stuff. So I had to learn that too as we went, So that was an interesting experience in itself. But long story short is, as I started moving along and making progress mentally and with my mindset and talking with different people, the school part came easy. I just had to be more disciplined and get everything done. And the more disciplined I became, the more consistent everything became. My actions, it's everything. I mean, I went complete ghost mode on a lot of people. Like when my friend died during COVID of that year, oh man, I was heartbroken, but I made it through. And I could keep hearing him tell me after he died, attaboy, 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 keep going, attaboy, and I could hear that. So I dealt with that death and I stayed in school. Then Not even a year later, his cousin, one of my other good friends, committed suicide and died. I mean, I grew up with that guy since the first grade. Like, hung out with the kid since we were in the first grade. That's how good of friends we were. I mean, that broke me too, to watch that. But I knew the day we did his wake, I got a thing and said that I made the president's list, which was a 4.0, and was like, oh my God, that was just like, hey, a sign from him that, hey, you got to keep going. Keep going. You can't let what happened to me or anybody else affect what your goals and dreams are. Keep pushing forward. So, long story short, I ended up graduating college in 3 years. So think about that. That's considering the two quarters that I withdrew from. I still graduated in 3 years. 12 quarters. Done. And I was able to graduate with a 3.9 GPA, summa cum laude, that's a pretty amazing accomplishment in itself. But to be battling through everything, I faced a couple giants, dealing with death and pushing through my dreams. Got sober in the process, sobriety. I mean, I faced like 2 or 3 giants right there back to back, probably even more, all at one time. And all that's through the glory of God. So the reason why I'm telling you this story is, I know there's a lot of people probably struggling out there going through stuff, like hitting their turning points and breaking points. My only advice is don't give up. Don't give up. Don't quit. Go to sleep, wake up, and attack it again. It's only failure when you quit. It's not failure when you're losing. You only fail when you quit. You just keep attacking it. I'm not no extra talented person. I got by grit and by God. God carried me through everything. Like my faith and everything, he carried me. And I'm humble enough to admit that he carried me through it all. And everything was done for his glory. And also, I'm sharing this because as I'm getting ready to start teaching, talking about like growth mindset and confidence, this story and some of the other stories I share will be a good reference point for you to understand where all that comes from and how I developed such a strong mindset. Like, my mindset was forged through all the darkness. And that's why I love helping kids like discover their talents through the darkness and help leading their way. Like, if I was to think right now and tell you guys, hey, what if I would have quit? What if I would have quit? I had ample opportunities to quit where things weren't going my way. And I could have easily have quit, right? Think about all the kids that would never have got my help. Like, think about that. And the same thing for you in your life. Like, what you're going through is preparing you to go help somebody else. And that's pretty amazing right there. Like, everything I went through, and I'll talk about that in a later episode on purpose and stuff, but like, everything I went through was preparing me to go help other people and was forging me into the person I needed to become to go help them. So yeah, everything was made tougher on me, and it's always been that way, but it's designed for a reason to make me tougher. That's the only way I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and become the person I'm called to be. Just like in yours, when you're sitting there thinking, oh, why me? No, it should be, hey, thank you. Thank you for this gift that you're testing me and going to make me become a better person. And that, once you switch that mindset to say, hey, not why me, but yes, try me, let's go, things become different. So, like I said, anybody who's struggling out there right now, don't give up. Don't quit. Don't quit on your dreams. Don't you dare quit. Look at me. Like, I went through it and I made it to the other side. There's a long list of people who have done the exact same. If it's your dream, it was given to you for a reason. Chase it. And I'm going to leave you with this, guys. The only way to get what you want is go through the fire.